Okay, I think we are good to go. I'm going to start the meeting now. Welcome, everyone. My name is Pedro Ponce. I am the meal officer at DRF. Thank you all for joining us for this meal learning exchange. It's a first for us, so thank you all for your support and for making the time in your agendas to participate here. Um, Before we start, I wanted to go through some accessibility housekeeping rules for this meeting. First of all, I would like to let you all know that we have professional captions today. They are available on Zoom via the closed captions button below, and also they are available via the stream text browser link. If please it can be posted in the chat for people to access it. And in the browser link, you also have access to closed captions in Bahasa Indonesia and Nepali, in case anyone would like to follow the captions in those languages. Captions will be available at all times in the main room, but they won't be available in breakout sessions. So we have made sure that all participants who have requested captions would be in the main room at all times. And we also have available simultaneous interpretation in Bahasa Indonesia and also in Nepali. If you go to the Zoom tool bar that is in the lower part of the screen, you will find the globe. You can click on it and you can choose the channel that you need. Also, please, I would like to ask everyone to please identify themselves when before speaking. We will be also checking regularly the chat function of the meeting to make sure that what is being shared in the chat is also shared with everyone. Also, please, everyone that is not speaking, if they can mute their audio, that would be great. And finally, I would like to let everyone know that we are recording the meeting, including the breakout sessions, only for internal use, and in case any of the registered participants that couldn't make it would request to access the recording after the meeting. Okay, so welcome everyone. As part of the DRF team, I welcome all participants that have registered. We have participants today from Fiji, Indonesia, Kiribati, Nepal, Papua New Guinea, Samoa, Solomon Islands, and Tonga. So thank you all for being here with us for this learning exchange. And I will now give the floor to my colleague Miroslava Tatarin, who is the DRF Chief of Movements Division, for some opening words. So Miroslava, you can take it away. Thank you.
Thank you very much. It's a real honor and delight to be with all of you at this moment. This is a really exciting event for DRF to host, particularly because I mean, I think we're all excited when we get to gather, but this is the first moment that the monitoring and evaluation and learning team, our meal team, has come together since the new strategy with grantees to be able to host such a learning exchange. So as some of you may be familiar with our new strategic plan, we have, I think somebody is going to put it also a link to it in our chat so that if you haven't seen our strategic plan, you'll be welcome to have a look. Um, uh, Hopefully after, because you'll be too busy discussing right now. One of the main pillars of our strategic plan is about peer and collective learning and really trying to, like, as DRF, we're trying to use our position and our resources to host opportunities for folks to learn from each other, for grantees to learn from each other, but also over time to be able to learn together and also recognize and center and profile and share how much we can learn from within the disability movement, from within the Global South, and also then across movements, but perhaps close geographies, but from the feminist movement or the peace movement or other social justice movements. So this is something that we're working towards as a whole organization. And just, oh my goodness, I think it was only about 48 hours ago. I also had the opportunity to zoom in to our first peer learning convening in the Pacific Islands, hosted by colleagues there. And that was a long time in the making. And now, only 2 days later, we're hosting our meal teams learning exchange. So in fact, we're really excited, and it feels like a lot of efforts and a lot of discussions that we've had are finally bearing fruit. So thank you for being with us at this time. And also, I think it's important to note that I guess we want to facilitate conversations. We want to allow you to share with each other, but this will also feed into how we plan things in the future. So I think particularly in the hands of the Meal colleagues, you can rest assured that this is an opportunity to share constructive feedback and ideas, and that we hope that whatever challenges and frustrations we have will be for the better, because it will inform how we can move together in the future. So I hope that you have a wonderful time. I'm afraid that I cannot join you because I am in a very snowy Canada, many hours behind you, so it is evening time. So I'm not able to stay for all of your discussions. So my apologies for that. But I wish you very fruitful discussions. Thank you.
This is Pedro from DRF speaking. Thank you so much, Miro, for opening up the space and for setting the scene. I will now very quickly take us all through the agenda of this event. So right after I finish this, we will move on to the presentation of the two meal tools that we are going to be discussing later. The first one of those tools is the 2024 Annual Grantee Survey, which was released in April last year. So I will be presenting to you all the main findings very quickly of this survey, what came up here. And the second tool that we will be presenting is the 2019-2022 external evaluation of DRF. The executive summary of this report was also shared with everyone here. And my colleague Melanie Kawanuchiu, who is the Chief of Learning and Growth at DRF, will be presenting the main findings of this external evaluation. So after both our presentations, we will all be taken into breakout sessions in which we will discuss these tools. Everyone will be able to share after this moment in which we present. What we want is that everyone can share what's on their mind, can say what they found interesting about these tools, what information they could use, and how DRF can support using the learnings from these two tools. So just a quick note to remind everyone that the event is being recorded, so only for internal use, and if participants who weren't able to make it or colleagues from organizations that weren't able to make it, you can access this recording if you so request. And if there is enough time after breakout sessions, each facilitator can share one main takeaway of the discussion to the main room. But we really want to focus on having everyone in smaller groups share their thoughts, share their questions, and have a fruitful discussion together. So I will now move on to the presentation of the main findings of DRF's annual grantee survey in 2024. I will be presenting this now. So as you all may know, this survey, the annual grantee survey, is one of the RF's central tools to receive feedback directly from the grantees. And in April last year, in April 2024, the survey was sent out to 161 grantees, of which 117 responded. That is a response rate of 72%. And in the first part of this survey last year, we asked grantees to share with us recommendations and suggestions to help DRF inform the development of two new policies. One is the reasonable accommodation policy, and the other is the accessibility policy. So, as a summary of what came back from grantees on this topic, I can say that almost 75% of grantee contribution on this topic focused on three main areas of work. First, grantees gave feedback to the RF in terms of how to design these policies from their own experience. A lot of grantees have their own policies in this regard. Who participates in this design? What questions can be asked to properly design these policies? What methodologies to follow? Secondly, another area in which grantees gave a lot of feedback is that these policies should also consider a review of some of the templates that the RF uses with grantees. For instance, just as quick examples, reporting formats or grant application formats. And finally, another area in which grantees gave feedback with regards to these policies of accessibility and regional accommodation is that they should also consider these tools, they should consider the specific needs of specific disability groups, right? So, of course, a lot of expertise from grantees in this regard, and all of this was captured and helped shape the design process of these policies. In the second part of the survey, grantees were asked about how their work aligns with the 7 cross-cutting themes that are defined in DRF's strategic plan. So these 7 cross-cutting themes are: number 1, advancing the rights of women and girls with disabilities; number 2, advancing the rights of young people with disabilities; number 3, tackling poverty and inequality; number 4, climate justice; number 5, fighting racial discrimination and ableism; number 6, advancing the rights of indigenous peoples; and number 7, advancing the rights of persons with disabilities of diverse sexual orientation, gender identity and expression, and diverse sex characteristics. So these are the 7 cross-cutting priorities. And when we asked grantees last year, how do they align, what activities did they implement in these areas, the vast majority of grantees were able to share important activities that they had implemented in the area of advancing the rights of women and girls with disabilities, participation of young people with disabilities, and tackling poverty and inequality in their own contexts. So over 2/3 of grantees share with us that a lot of their work focuses on these 3 topics, and that these 3 priorities align with the missions of their own organizations. Analysis of this feedback also showed that grantees in these areas of work, how they do this work is by focusing in 3 main components. One is training and capacity development, organizational strengthening, and skills acquisition. So a lot of focus is put into building the capacities of the members of the OPDs, of the communities in which they work. Secondly, another cross-cutting component of the work is, of course, advocacy efforts, both at the local and national levels in each of their countries. And finally, how grantees were able to work in these 3 areas, in these 3 cross-cutting priorities that I mentioned, is also by increasing participation and visibility and leadership of marginalized persons with disability. Finally, the annual grantee survey from last year focused on asking grantees about how they perceive the changes in involvement of marginalized persons with disability within the larger disability movement. So it is interesting to note that 87% of grantees who responded to the survey said that they feel there is an increase in the involvement of marginalized persons with disabilities within the larger disability movement. And a lot of them refer to some key factors that explain that there is this increase, right, in the participation of marginalized groups. One is that a lot of focus was put by grantees across these geographies to work to promote the visibility and leadership of marginalized persons within the larger disability group. So a lot of space was given to marginalized groups to assume positions of leadership, to be spokespeople for the movement, and also to promote the participation of these marginalized groups within the larger movement. And finally, all of grantees coincided in the fact that there is an increase in the quality and quantity of advocacy efforts, which is, of course, the central line of work that grantees do on the ground with DRF support. So this is what I can share with you about the main findings of the annual grantee survey. And of course, in the space that will follow Melanie's presentation of the external evaluation, we will have a lot of time to have a deeper discussion on the findings that I just presented, and that hopefully you were also able to navigate to explore a little bit in the documents that we shared in advance. So thank you all, and I hand it over to Melanie to present about the external evaluation of DRF that covers the period 2019 and 2022.
Hi, everyone. It's so wonderful to be with you. If we haven't met already virtually or in person, as Pedro mentioned, my name is Melanie Kawano Chu. For those that like to have a visual description, I'm a middle-aged Asian American woman with long black hair, wearing some cream clothing, and I'm in my home office in Los Angeles, California. So it's so lovely to have you all here. And as Pedro mentioned, I'll be going over some of the highlights or the most interesting things that I've found in our latest external evaluation. I'm really glad that you all can join us. Hopefully you've had a chance to look through at least the executive summary of our evaluations, and we'll put the link in the chat now in case you haven't had a chance to go and explore not just this past evaluation we've completed, but we have other evaluations from previous years posted as well. What was special about this most recent evaluation is that it was the third time we had been able to design our evaluation questions with grantees and reference groups. So our donors have given us a lot of flexibility over the years to ask questions that you're interested in, that we're interested in as staff, and not just the questions that are required to be answered by bureaucratic processes. And what came out of that design process was a real curiosity around technical assistance and what we're doing today, peer and collective learning. How did that increased capacity for advocacy, skills, and knowledge, collective care within the disability movement contribute to advocacy outcomes and achievements, or did it contribute anything? And the other piece we were also curious about was diversity of the movement. So does diversity of the movement contribute to a stronger disability movement? In general, I'd say advocacy wisdom is that the more people that you have supporting a particular effort or topic, the stronger your coalition base will be. And so if we think about applying that to the disability movement as well, does that mean if all persons with disabilities, regardless of where you are living, your disability group, even your population or age, if you're all working toward one particular advocacy ask or a general set of advocacy asks, does that make your ask stronger? Does it make you more effective in your advocacy work? And perhaps not surprisingly, the findings of our most recent evaluation said, I would say, two things that boils down to. One, technical assistance is a critical part of advocacy achievements and outcomes. And that critical piece of it is growing in what Miro had mentioned earlier and what Pedro had talked about, that within the disability movement, technical assistance is being provided to each other. So OPDs who have experience with budget allocation are providing training to their to other OPDs within the movement. Whatever the technical topic is, there are now persons with disabilities that have that experience, that have the skills, that have the knowledge and the expertise to share with other people in the movement. And though we didn't explore this in the evaluation, I have a sense that because you're talking to a peer, another person with a disability, someone else that self-identifies, or a family member that has very similar experiences to you, that peer-to-peer exchange may be even stronger, maybe more nuanced. And so it was clear that the technical assistance, what we're now shifting toward peer and collective learning, is a critical part. And that as grantees, you've valued that support from DRF and would also want more support in the future from your colleagues. And so we'll talk a little bit about that as we move forward, not just today, but in the future as well, as we think about our new strategic plan at DRF. The second piece around diversity was also a strong yes. The finding was that the more persons with disabilities, capacity was built with smaller OPDs, grassroots movements, OPDs that represent marginalized persons with disability. The stronger those OPDs are and those individuals are, the more that can be achieved together collectively. And I wanted to highlight one particular set of findings that we looked at as well. So we did about 6 different index case studies in Nigeria, in Indonesia, and in the Pacific Islands to look at these 6 stories of advocacy success, from times of COVID to voting, to the prevention of violence against women. And our evaluators found some interesting enabling factors. As we might not be surprised, the first enabling factor had to do with strategic advocacy capacity, right? So we just spent a long time talking about technical assistance. That was one of the enabling factors, advocacy capacity of the OPDs. Another piece was resourcing the ecosystem. So more and more INGOs, funders, bilaterals, multilaterals are funding and mainstreaming disability within their work. And that's contributing to the effectiveness of OPDs. And then the last piece has to do with collaboration. So a little bit of what we're doing today and the peer and collective learning. Some of the pieces that tended to hinder advocacy had to do with capacity to build rapport with government actors. So whether that was because government actors change with different administrations or people leave jobs, that ability to build relationships can hinder things. And then governance within the disability movement. So challenge within sustainability, leadership, and governments hindered, as one would naturally think, an OPD's ability to do their advocacy work. And likewise, in the way that it was also an enabling factor, if there weren't enough resources for the movement, of course, that hindered work. And the last piece that was a hindering factor was just the limitations and the recognition of stigma and discrimination. So attitudes, beliefs, and behaviors around equality and inclusion within the disability movement actually could hinder the work of that coalition coming together around advocacy. So these are some of the things that we internally are learning here at DRF. And we want to know more about how are the things we're learning could be potentially helpful to you in your work, and what would you want to see from us moving forward? How can we better support and partner with you in our learning and our exchange? So with this in mind, I'll hand it back to Pedro so that he can give us instructions about our breakout groups, and then we can have a chance to hear from you. Thank you.
This is Pedro speaking. Thank you so much, Melanie. Yes, so as next part of the agenda, we are going to move into breakout sessions in which all of us will be able to reflect on the two products that were just presented. And the most important part here is we want to hear from you. We want to hear what caught your attention, what do you think is usable in your context, and how we can support that. So I think we are about to be sent into the rooms. Before that happens, just mentioning that the rooms have been pre-assigned in advance, which also to consider accessibility and language needs of all participants. So participants that will be using interpretation channels are going to be staying in the main room, as well as the participants that are using live captions. Then the Indonesia grantees are going to be split into two groups, one in the main room and the other group is going to be with my colleague Buyung in one of the breakout sessions, and he will facilitate a bit of interpretation for those grantees that require it. And participants will be sent to another breakout session. The participants from the Pacific, sorry, that are going to be working with Gail, the sign language interpreter. So we are good to go now, and we are about to be sent into our breakout group discussions.
Perfect, Pedro. This is Sebastian here. I'm putting the breakout rooms. Just a quick reminder that if you haven't logged in with the name you put in the forum, just please quick change it back so we could assign in your breakout session. Thank you.
This is Pedro speaking. Let's give participants 1 second to be assigned into their breakout sessions. I am in the main room. I will be starting the discussion in 1 minute. Just want to make sure that all of the other participants are in their respective rooms.
Pedro, just letting you know again, I've got Esau and Eve here with me. Yeah.
This is Pedro. Thank you, Gail. Normally, you should be assigned to breakout session number 1. This is Pedro speaking. You should have in your screen a request to join a breakout session. If you can click on the button that says join or go to room.
Hi Pedro, good morning. It's me, Krishna speaking. Is the breakout working?
Yes, yes, this is better. Yes, Krishna, just give me 1 second. I'm also going to support the uh, sending people to
Okay,
breakout
thank you.
sessions. Yes.
Sure.
Thank you, Pedro. We also have some participants that were in the meeting, but they left and they are coming back right now. So
Yes. Yes, this is Pedro speaking. We are getting there.
Kalau bagian kita bisa partisipasi bagian korupsi atau bagian tidak jam 10 masih belum untuk membantu Anda untuk alasan keselamatan dan kenyamanan bersama apakah pada nanti dimatikan saja.
Mas Buyung, Karina lagi di pesawat, kayaknya mau ini deh, take off.
Halo Tera. Oke, ya, oke. Halo SR2, may you show your name? Yeah. Mhm. We will wait a minute because some people will join in this room, and I will use two language because in English and Bahasa. So if you prefer to use Bahasa, I'm welcome to hear you. Kita menunggu yang lainnya ya, kawan-kawan. Karena di ruangan ini tidak ada penerjemahnya, jadi saya akan menggunakan dua bahasa untuk sesi breakout room. Bagi teman-teman yang nyaman menggunakan bahasa Indonesia, saya dengan senang hati mendengarnya. Terima kasih, Tera, untuk informasinya, Mbak Rina. In my note, there are 12 person will join in this session. So I think it's better we will wait for a moment. Some person will join in this breakout room. Now there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 person in this breakout room. Please waiting other person join in this breakout room. Kita tunggu dulu ya kawan-kawan, karena ada 12 orang dalam catatan saya yang seharusnya bergabung dalam grup ini. Tampaknya baru ada 5 orang yang bergabung. Dan juga penerjemah bahasa isyaratnya belum gabung juga ternyata ya. I didn't see sign language interpreter in this group. Okay, we will wait in 5 minutes. Kita akan tunggu dalam 5 menit, kawan-kawan.
Hello.
Halo, Kamala. Hello,
Yeah,
yeah,
I'm
this is Will.
Kamala. I'm from Nepal. Yeah.
Yeah, nice to hear you.
Yeah. Are we going to discuss on the questions in from the agent?
Excuse me, Kamala. We are
Like
waiting for a.
we are here
Mhm.
in this we are here in this room for discussing on the questions that are in the agenda.
Yes,
Actually,
of
I did
course.
not like on this.
Yeah, of course. But we are waiting. Some person will join in this group because in my notes there are 12 persons in this group. But until now we have
Only 7?
6%. Yeah, 6%. 7% include me, of course.
Yeah.
And so we will wait for a moment, perhaps about 5 minutes. It's okay for you?
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, because I think it's very busy in the main room and there are changing for person attended this session. So perhaps it's quite difficult for admin to divide some person in the where they have to go in the main
Yeah.
room or in the
Actually, yeah.
breakout room. Yeah. So
Yeah.
please
Yeah.
wait for a moment. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Actually, those who are in the main room, I think they are confused, like where is the breakup room and all. I think
Okay.
they're
Yeah,
confused.
that's okay. Yeah. Yeah, I will. Perhaps I will start to share the question about this discussion through PowerPoint. Please, moment. So, while awaiting other person join in this group. Okay. Uh, yeah. Okay. If yeah, may I start this session? So for introduction, this breakout room, my name is Buyung Tanjung, Program Officer for Indonesia, and yeah, and this breakout room will discuss about some question you can see in the PowerPoint in the screen, and also this breakout room I will introduce using two language, English and Bahasa Indonesia, because this breakout room without translator, so I will support some person using Bahasa Indonesia. And if you are Indonesian want to speak in Bahasa, we are welcome to you to speak in Bahasa. Ya, kawan-kawan, diperkenalkan nama saya Buyung dari DRF, Program Officer. Kebetulan di breakout room ini tanpa ada penerjemah, jadi saya penerjemah bahasa Indonesia. Jadi saya akan membantu teman-teman apabila lebih nyaman menggunakan bahasa Indonesia selama dalam breakout room ini. Adapun di depan teman-teman sudah ada beberapa pertanyaan yang bisa berapa pertanyaan untuk memandu diskusi kali ini. And the first guiding question, there are four question in this breakout room. First, what was interesting to you about these findings? Pertanyaan pertama, apa yang menarik bagi Anda tentang temuan ini? Yang and then is there anything about this information that could be used by your organization? Apakah ada informasi tentang ini yang dapat Anda gunakan untuk organisasi Anda? And third question, how can DRF facilitate further conversation about these meal tools in the future? Dan pertanyaan ketiga, bagaimana DRF dapat memfasilitasi diskusi lebih lanjut tentang alat-alat MIL ini di masa mendatang? And the last question is, how can DRF support your organization to use the finding of these tools? Lalu bagaimana DRF dapat mendukung organisasi Anda untuk menggunakan temuan alat-alat ini? I invite all of you to discuss about this question, and I'm very happy hear you and share about your experience related this question. And yeah, and I yeah, dan saya sangat senang sekali apabila teman-teman bisa mulai mendiskusikan panduan pertanyaan untuk diskusi kali ini terkait dengan pertanyaan-pertanyaan ini. So please, I welcome all of you to discuss about these questions. So who will be voluntary in to answer this question? Who will be first? And don't forget, before you discuss about this question, please state your name. Dan nanti ketika teman-teman mau mendiskusikan ini, jangan lupa untuk menyebutkan namanya terlebih dahulu, sehingga kawan-kawan kita yang disabilitas netra bisa mengetahui siapa yang berbicara. Okay, we can start discussing. Who will be first? Ya, siapa? Silahkan untuk memulai diskusi kali ini.
Halo, selamat pagi.
Selamat pagi.
Selamat pagi Pak Buyung dan selamat pagi teman-teman di room 2. Saya Erna Magdalena, saya dari Himpunan Wanita Disabilitas Indonesia dan saat ini mewakili Mbak Revita Alfi, Ketua Umum kami yang kebetulan sedang dalam perjalanan juga menuju lagi dalam pesawat ya, jadi belum bisa ikut bergabung. Eh, baik, saya akan mencoba. Boleh langsung ya, Pak Buyung izin.
Ya.
Saya akan mencoba menjawab. Ini dijawab semua, Pak Buyung, atau satu persatu? A,
Eh,
B.
Silakan bercerita saja. Jadi tidak
Oh,
tidak harus.
ya, baik-baik.
Silakan bercerita aja. Ya, oke.
Baik, saya akan mencoba, tapi izin lagi, saya dalam bahasa Indonesia.
Ya.
What was interesting to you about these fundings? Jadi, salah satu temuan yang menarik dari saat ini adalah DRF telah berhasil memperkuat organisasi penerima hibah dalam advokasi hak-hak penyandang disabilitas, termasuk peningkatan kapasitas organisasi dan pengaruh terhadap kebijakan publik. Dan selain itu, rekomendasi tentang perlunya memperluas inklusi bagi kelompok-kelompok penyandang disabilitas yang kurang terwakili, misalnya teman-teman penyandang disabilitas di daerah pedesaan, ya, atau teman-teman disabilitas dengan disabilitas ganda, atau dari komunitas LGBTQ. Dan DRF juga menunjukkan komitmen untuk membangun gerakan yang lebih inklusif dan berkelanjutan. Mungkin dari kami saat ini itu dulu Pak Buyung. Terima kasih.
Ya. Bisa diulang peningkatan apa, Bu, yang pertama? Sorry.
Ya,
Halo?
ya,
Ya,
halo.
ya, ya. Peningkatan kapasitas.
Oh, peningkatan kapasitas organisasi dan
Oke.
pengaruhnya terhadap kebijakan publik.
Thank you, our colleague from us, from Erna Magdalena from
From HWDI.
HYDI, yeah, told about how to increase their capacity regarding their organization and also how to influence about public policy, especially in Indonesia. Thank you, Erna. And so we
Ya.
can start to another. Silakan jika ada yang mau bercerita yang lain. Apa Bu Erna, saya mau tanya, apakah penemuan apa yang disampaikan oleh Bu Melani ini apa menjadi sesuatu yang baru buat HWDI?
Iya, betul Pak.
Ya.
Karena
Oke. Hmm.
oh ya, karena informasi dari temuan-temuan ini dapat digunakan oleh HWDI untuk mengidentifikasi area yang masih memerlukan peningkatan, seperti memperkuat strategi-strategi advokasi berbasis bukti dan meningkatkan kolaborasi dengan para aktor kebijakan. Kemudian dapat mengembangkan program kerja supaya bisa lebih inklusif. Kira-kira seperti itu, Pak Buyung.
Ya, kemudian apakah pertanyaan berikutnya, apakah ini DRF masih apa dapat mendukung organisasi Anda untuk menggunakan temuan di alat-alat ini atau tidak ya, Bu ya?
Iya jelas karena DRF dapat eh, memfasilitasi dialog atau percakapan-percakapan lebih lanjut tentang alat-alat mail ini ya. Mungkin nanti dengan cara menyelenggarakan diskusi atau lokakarya secara tematik, secara berkala, kemudian dapat menggunakan alat mail ini untuk meningkatkan efektivitas program kerja kami. Seperti itu, Pak Buyung.
Ya, ya. Oke, masih ada yang mau disampaikan? Bukan?
Cukup dulu, Pak.
Oke,
Ya, terima kasih.
ya. Thank you, Erna. Another volunteer person? Tera? Tera
Ya,
from YPSD, please. Ya.
ya, selamat pagi semua. Maaf belum bisa on cam. Ya, temuannya
Ya.
DRF ini sangat menarik banget gitu. Terutama yang kami highlight itu gimana eh, apa namanya DRF ini ya mensupport interseksionalitas antara eh, di interseksionalitas di disabilitas itu, yang terutama terkait isu LGBT, yang dimana kita dulu udah pernah ada kelas tentang hak reproduksi gitu kan, banyak terutama Down syndrome yang dilihat sebagai aseksual gitu. Tapi
Ya.
ternyata di temuannya DRF ini membuktikan kalau sebenarnya tidak cuman hak reproduksi, tapi juga orang dengan disabilitas itu eh, memiliki identitas seksual, orientasi seksual yang beragam gitu loh. Dan itu juga bisa kita gunakan di kemudian hari kalau ngasih tahu em, apa apa sih orientasi seksual orang tuh beda-beda gitu, dan itu nggak apa-apa gitu. Dan eh, kita juga mengapresiasi DRF gimana em, apa namanya sistem sistem hibahnya itu juga membebaskan em, OPDS seperti kita, yang misalnya saat ini kita lagi berfokus ke apa namanya self advocate di bidang ketenagakerjaan gitu, yang dimana ini masih, walaupun masih pilot program gitu, tapi DRF memberikan apa kepercayaan itu gitu karena sistemnya. Ya, kasih.
Oke.
Mungkin Iba ada mau nambahin?
Yes, please.
Saya Diba dari PSD sama Tera.
Iya.
Eh,
Iya.
untuk temuan ini cukup menarik. DRF banyak mengkaji terkait kebutuhan-kebutuhan penerima hibah. Terus DRF juga ingin lebih banyak lagi organisasi yang bisa dapat hibah gitu. Jadi jangkauannya bisa lebih luas dan dukungan untuk mengikut sertakan semua kelompok agar mereka dapat melakukan pembangunan kesadaran tentang keanekaragaman. Serta ada rencana yang disampaikan DRF itu rencana strategis yang baru. Itu bagus juga agar pemohon penerima hibah itu bisa dapat hibah dengan cara yang mudah gitu. Terus juga DRF menjangkau banyak organisasi di berbagai negara. Salah satu yang kami ambil mengenai informasi atau temuan ini yaitu pentingnya untuk saling terhubung antar organisasi, tapi tidak hanya organisasi disabilitas, tetapi juga organisasi dari kelompok rentan lainnya seperti LGBTQ. Terus juga tadi yang disampaikan oleh Melanie, itu banyak sekali tantangan yang dihadapi, seperti stigma, diskriminasi, itu juga
Ya.
jadi apa ya, penguat juga untuk kami agar bisa menghadapi tantangan-tantangan yang ada dan juga yang ditemukan DRF. Seperti itu, Pak Buyung.
Ya. Oke. Terima kasih Hiba, terima kasih Tera. Ya. Uh, yeah, I just give information about Tera and Hibah says about how important and how interesting DRF project to support their organization from YAPESD Indonesia, and it's very interesting experience, especially when they work in YAPESD, how DRF gives make sure how to support the new organization, especially in Indonesia. Thank you from Indonesia. So perhaps another organization outside Indonesia can also share your experience in this group. Please. Anyone from outside Indonesia can tell or
Hello, I'm Kamala from Nepal.
please, Kamala. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm working in National Network of Disable Conflict Victims, and it is basically the organization working for the civilian who are made disabled during the 10 years long armed conflict in Nepal. So DRF has been supporting us from last year, and this year also they have supported us, and yeah, it has made us like DRF is supporting us in the advocacy agenda of our Truth and Reconciliation Commission, and they supported us to on the training CRPD training. Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities. They have given training to our organization, and we learned about that through DRF support. So I think, and DRF is also helping us to write the reports and all these things. So I think DRF has supported us a lot in our advocacy effort and capacity building of our board members and staffs. And not only that, DRF is supporting for our organizational development. Like through DRF support, we made a website of our organization.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I have to say about our organization in Nepal and how DRF is supporting in our advocacy effort, our organization development, and our capacity building in overall.
Okay.
Thank you.
Anything? Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Kamala. Yeah.
Yeah, you're asking a question, maybe.
Yeah.
Are you asking a question to me?
Yeah. I just wondering about this. How can DRF support your organization to use the findings of these tools? Yeah.
Yeah, I missed the tools during the first half of this
Okay.
meeting. So yeah.
Yeah.
So I could
Actually,
not.
yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah. Yeah, we have some finding in our tools related of our project to grantee, and especially about technical assistance. And I think you already implement in your organization as well, and also about our finding how to work in the intersectional issue, and yeah, these findings we state in our research, our survey. So we hope our findings in our survey can be can be useful for especially for DRF and to support your organization. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Kamala. Your information is very useful for this session.
You're welcome.
And ya, silahkan bagi teman-teman yang dari Indonesia bisa apa menyatakan dalam bahasa Indonesia tidak apa-apa.
Mohon izin, Mas Buyung, saya
Yes, yeah,
Aizul dari pelopor Peduli Disabilitas Situbondo mewakili eh, Bu Direktur saya
yeah.
eh, berkaitan dengan temuan-temuan yang telah dilakukan atau telah diinventarisir oleh DRF. Saya kira ada banyak hal yang menarik, namun beberapa saya ingin menyoroti kaitannya dengan eh, khususnya di temuan 6 hingga 8 tentang diversifikasi gerakan disabilitas. Nah, ini menjadi bagi kami ini menjadi sebuah pandangan baru bahwa dalam rangka untuk melakukan advokasi kaitannya dengan pemenuhan hak teman-teman disabilitas, ini kita memang perlu melakukan upaya kolaborasi dengan lintas sektor dalam artian dengan berbagai organisasi lainnya gitu. Kita coba di PPDIS hari ini sudah banyak menggandeng beberapa organisasi, baik yang fokus pada isu-isu perempuan dan anak, walaupun skala organisasinya memang masih dalam di lingkup lokal di Situbondo maupun di Probolinggo. Namun kita juga banyak menggandeng organisasi di media-media dalam rangka untuk mengkampanyekan apa yang dilakukan dan diperjuangkan oleh PPDIS dalam rangka untuk pemenuhan hak difabel. Nah, sekedar sekedar menyampaikan beberapa pengalaman kami, termasuk yang baru saja kami lakukan, bahwa dalam rangka untuk memastikan pemenuhan hak difabel, kita berkolaborasi dengan bahkan bisa melakukan hal-hal langkah-langkah politis strategis, baik dengan hari ini karena momentumnya kan pemilihan ada kepala daerah baru. Kami coba untuk berkolaborasi dengan kepala daerah baru agar bagaimana isu pemenuhan inklusi disabilitas ini masuk dalam rencana pembangunan jangka menengah daerah. Dan baru-baru ini kami sedang melakukan proses penyusunan tersebut, dan ada teman-teman difabel yang juga masuk dalam tim penyusun secara teknokratik RPJMD itu. Mungkin itu dulu Mas Buyung dari kami.
Yeah. Okay, thank you, Faizul. Yeah, I will speak in English to support some some friends from Nepal and outside of Indonesia. Faizul from PPDK OPDIS in Indonesia. It's very interesting with the what DRF finding in their survey, and Faisal share about their experience related this finding, how Faisal's organization can build collaboration through intersectionality issue, not only for other OPDs, but also for the mass media, social media, and also can collaborate with the government in their region related region action plan. Thank you, Faisal. Perhaps apakah ini Faisal boleh saya bertanya lebih lanjut, Faisal?
Iya, Mas Buyung.
Ya, apakah DRF bisa mendukung organisasi Anda dengan menggunakan temuan-temuan alat ini?
Ya, terima kasih. Saya kira ini sangat berdampak positif bagi perkembangan advokasi organisasi kami, Mas Buyung. Teman-teman, ada 8 temuan yang saya baca itu memang sangat membantu terhadap perkembangan dan progresivitas organisasi kami. Mengingat ada beberapa temuan yang sebenarnya kami juga sedang melakukan pembahasan di rencana strategis organisasi kami. Jadi ini bisa menjadi tambahan wawasan dan juga strategi plan di organisasi kami, bagaimana dari 8 temuan ini bisa dirumuskan dalam ya mungkin rencana strategis organisasi kami, termasuk pada bidang bantuan teknis atau TA maupun direkomendasi menyeluruh. Mungkin itu, Mas. Saya kira ini sangat berdampak positif dan sangat membantu terhadap perkembangan organisasi kami.
Yeah, thank you, Faisal. Faisal also said about how DRF finding it's very useful to support their uh, development and progressiveness of their organization. Thank you. There are another opinion to answer these questions. Ada yang masih mau membagikan pengalaman terkait dengan pertanyaan panduan ini? Please, you can open mic to share your organization experience related this meal learning exchange today. In front of you, there is I share about getting question, and I will explain one by one. First question, it's what was interesting to you about these findings? Second question, is there anything about this information that could be used by your organization? Third question, how can DRA facilitate further conversations about these meal tools in the future? And the last question, how can DRF support your organization to use the findings of these tools? Jadi ada 4 pertanyaan yang bisa membantu Bapak Ibu untuk mendiskusikan pada pertemuan kali ini. Seperti apa yang menarik bagi Anda tentang temuan ini, serta apakah ada informasi tentang ini yang dapat digunakan oleh organisasi Anda. Kemudian bagaimana DRF dapat memfasilitasi diskusi lebih lanjut tentang alat-alat meal ini di masa mendatang. Dan pertanyaan terakhir, bagaimana DRF dapat mendukung organisasi Anda untuk menggunakan temuan alat-alat ini. Silakan membagikan pengalaman Bapak Ibu. Please share your experience in this breakout room. Who will be the next volunteer? Ada yang masih mau bercerita? Ada yang mau membagikan pengalaman? Silakan.
Apakah boleh meng-share pengalaman saja, Mas Buyung? Mungkin ini juga kita bisa
Silakan,
bertukar
silakan.
pengalaman.
Ya, silakan. Please, Mas Faizul. Ya.
Terima kasih teman-teman semua. Agar lebih akrab saya panggil teman-teman semua. PPDIS menjadi grantee DRF dimulai sejak tahun 2020 dengan dengan proyek untuk menyusun peraturan bupati kaitannya dengan pendidikan inklusif. Lalu di 2022 PPDIS mendorong ULD ketenagakerjaan inklusif, dan di 2023 kami juga mendorong peta jalan. Nah, saya akan coba nge-share banyak mencoba untuk berbagi pengalaman kami kaitannya dengan bagaimana mendorong sebuah daerah atau kabupaten atau kota untuk membuat rencana program kegiatan dan juga penganggaran yang inklusif bagi teman-teman disabilitas. Ada beberapa hal sebenarnya yang telah kami lalui di organisasi kami. Salah satunya adalah bagaimana kita mencoba untuk melakukan advokasi dengan berbagai banyak perangkat daerah, karena berbicara soal disabilitas tentu ini merupakan sebuah eh, kerangka yang kami bangun itu, bahwa berbicara soal inklusi disabilitas adalah merupakan tanggung jawab semua bidang, tidak hanya pada satu bidang pembangunan saja, katakanlah di kesejahteraan sosial, tidak hanya pada itu. Nah, pengalaman ini menjadi sangat berharga bagi kami karena
Maaf, Mas Faizu, ternyata waktunya sudah tinggal beberapa detik, ya.
oh iya, Mas.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much. I think it's your experience. It's very useful for us, Mas Faizu. So we can move to main room. Thank you so much, everyone. We join meet in the main room.
The main room. I hope you had a fruitful discussion in the breakout session that you were a part of. Let's wait for a few more seconds until everyone is back with us, and we will be closing the space. Just one more minute. Are we all back in the main room? I think we are back, all of us in the main room. This is Pedro speaking. Welcome back, everyone. Thank you so much for this breakout.
Yeah, nice to meet you again. Yeah.
Can everyone hear me okay? Yes? Okay, we are almost at time. So I think, unfortunately, we won't be able to share some of the main takeaways from what we discussed in the breakout sessions. Before I let you all go, I just wanted to say two things. One, thank you so much for your time and participation and for your patience. It took us a little bit of time to get the breakout sessions going, but after that, I think a lot of very interesting discussions happened. I also want to apologize to those participants who felt they weren't able to communicate or participate. I know we had a little bit of that going on in my room, but really, I think we still were able to discuss some very interesting points. And finally, we are exactly at time, so I want to thank everyone and also let you know that in the agenda that we shared, there is the meal team's email contacts, so Melanie and myself, email contacts. So any questions, any suggestions, any recommendations that you would like to share with us after this event, if there are any reflections that you still have after the discussions, after reading the documents, after listening to the presentations, we will be very happy to get that from you directly via email. Our door is always open. So thank you everyone for participating. Thank you also to all of the accessibility providers. It's been a real pleasure working with you. Thank you to my colleagues, Melanie, Buyung, Krishna, for facilitation. And I will be very happy to hear from you and see you again soon. Thank you everyone very much. And thank you, Sebastian, for the wonderful job putting all of this together on Zoom. I wish you all a great day.
Thank
you so much, Pedro.
Welcome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
Pedro.
Terima kasih semua.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Terima kasih semuanya.
Thank you all.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. We hope you have a lovely day.